past, most people found it easy to justify the abuse of animals. It was believed that they were inferior creatures, without feeling or intelligence. Yet we now know that animals have astonishing abilities, and that they share many of the emotions which we once thought unique to people. These orangutans, for example, have clearly decided that they would rather keep dry than face this tropical rainstorm, and have worked out how to do it. We know, too, that there is a close relationship between mother and young, that animals enjoy the company of their own species and express affection. We know that the young enjoy play, that they like to build a stable social group in which they feel comfortable and secure, and that in many different ways they have extraordinary natural powers which they enjoy using. Yet when the things that make life worth living are taken away, often animals suffer the same painful emotions as we do. The unhappiness of imprisonment and loss of freedom. The boredom of confinement, like in this factory farm. Loneliness and isolation, as in this medical research laboratory. Fear, as with these two monkeys awaiting animal experimentation. And depression, sometimes eventually leading to severe mental disorders or even madness when they're kept alone without hope for long periods. Above all, they share with us the capacity to feel pain. Yet despite all the qualities which we now know to exist in animals, we continue to treat them without respect or compassion. We thoughtlessly destroy their habitat for short-term profit, causing death to millions of creatures. We humiliate them to provide us with cheap entertainment. We kill them to make coats from their fur. We hunt them for sport. We imprison and slaughter hundreds of millions each year for food. And in laboratories around the world, we poison them to test cosmetics, household products, chemicals, and drugs. We scald and burn them. Or infect them with painful diseases in medical research. Yet even when it becomes obvious that animals have their own needs and emotions, those who exploit them still excuse ill treatment. It is argued that people must come first, and that the misery we inflict upon other creatures is somehow necessary for our benefit. Similar defenses have been made to justify all social evils. Not so long ago, cruelty to African slaves was excused by the argument that they, too, lacked all feeling and intelligence. And then, added to this ridiculous moral justification, was the illusion that the end of the slave trade would cause economic hardship to society. The same sorts of statement were advanced to excuse the exploitation of children as cheap labor, or to deny the vote to women in elections. Nowadays, the abuse of animals is defended in a comparable way. Take the argument that we need to kill farm animals to produce more meat. Why should we care that billions of animals are killed for food when millions of people are starving? In fact, eating meat actually reduces the amount of food available to feed people. All protein, including meat, originally comes from vegetarian food. The choice is whether we grow crops to feed animals, which we then eat, or whether we grow crops which humans can eat directly in a vegetarian diet. When we produce meat, animals waste most of the protein and energy value of what they're fed in their digestive systems. In all, you can produce between 5 and 10 times as much protein by growing food for direct human consumption than by growing feed which animals then convert into meat. It has been estimated that if everybody in the world became a vegetarian, we could feed 6 billion people. If, on the other hand, we take approximately a third of our calories from animal produce, as is the average in the USA today, we can feed only 3 billion. Since the current human population is already approaching 6 billion and increasing fast, this means we simply have to rely more on a vegetarian diet in order to meet the growing problems of human hunger. Then there are those who argue that if we stop using animals in experiments, it will mean that millions of people will die from dreadful diseases.